The breaking news out of Washington was startlingly blunt. The President of the United States had just threatened to blow up Oman. That makes Oman the 15th nation recently put in the administration's crosshairs. This threat arrived precisely as international networks reported a historic 60-day ceasefire with Iran was within reach. Oman has spent 2 centuries as an indispensable ally, serving as the Middle East's primary mediator. Curious, slightly slower, threatening the one nation capable of facilitating peace at the exact moment a deal is reached leaves a massive gap between the administration's rhetoric and its actions. Geography dictates the stakes. This narrow band of water is the world's most critical choke point, with Oman and Iran controlling opposite sides of the corridor. The friction began when Oman moved to establish a massive port of call, a logistical hub designed to provide docking and repair services for passing freighters. This plan would effectively turn the Omani coastline into a maritime toll booth. When Washington learned of a potential joint taxation setup with Tehran, it responded with a threat of force. This level of hostility suggests Oman's project hit a nerve. In this narrow corridor, authority over the water grants the power to dictate global energy prices. Look back to February to see the pattern. Omani diplomats had secured a breakthrough where Tehran agreed to surrender its uranium stockpile. Instead of signing the treaty, the United States launched a lethal strike against Iranian leadership that same night. Each time Omani mediation brings the two sides toward a resolution, a sudden military disruption follows. With every breakthrough met by an escalation, the diplomatic path forward has become a recurring casualty of timing. There is a very clear financial incentive for these disruptions. A volatile oil supply chain is immensely profitable. A secure, open Strait of Hormuz ensures global markets have access to cheap Middle Eastern crude. If the strait is threatened, that supply shrinks, causing global energy prices to spike. This volatility allows the United States to sell its own domestic and proxy reserves at a massive premium. The numbers confirm the strategy. Under these exact market conditions, Venezuelan oil exports alone are generating $5 billion every month. A crisis in Hormuz acts as a massive economic stimulus for Western-controlled energy assets operating elsewhere. A second force pulls Washington away from the table: hardline lobbying designed to prevent any normalization with Iran. Itamar Ben-Gvir and other Israeli hardliners have stated they will block any agreement that compromises their regional dominance. This pressure forces the U.S. to abandon mediation in favor of frameworks like the Abraham Accords, which prioritize Iran's isolation. American policy in the Gulf is effectively tethered to the security requirements of its regional allies. The threat against Oman fits into this broader strategy. By targeting the region's oldest mediator, Washington is dismantling the final piece of neutral ground in the Gulf. The fallout is already visible. Faced with an ultimatum, Muscat is now exploring an economic and strategic pivot toward Tehran. 2 centuries of loyalty provided no immunity against the realities of a more aggressive, unilateral stance from Washington. The friction in Hormuz serves a specific purpose. It maintains a state of profitable instability, keeping the region divided and global markets tethered to Western-controlled energy.